Respond: How not to default when sued by debt collectors. Brought to you by yourlegalega.com, your advantage if you are being sued by debt collectors. In this video, we talk about how not to default on a lawsuit. Among the really bad ideas that are floating around on the internet about debt defense are various theories and pretexts for not answering a summons that gets served on you. Of course, it's appealing because the summons fills you with terror. An early Supreme Court justice said that next to death, people fear being sued more than anything. So fear is natural and healthy. There's nothing wrong with fear, it's just that pretending you haven't been sued won't work. But like I said, everybody actually wants to pretend that it never happened, and any excuse not to answer will do. That's the main thing that makes these crazy ideas so attractive. They get millions of views because so many people so desperately want to believe them. And then there's the fact that the cost of following them is not instantaneous. That allows them to get traction. See, if you don't answer the petition, what happens is that the debt collector, or plaintiff, because pretty much all suits will work this way, has to process your default. That takes time. The summons normally gives you at least 20 days to respond. It's more in some places. Then, depending on what court you're in, there may be a hearing to determine damages, or at least to enter the judgment. That could take weeks, and then the process of garnishment starts, the process of locating and collecting on assets. If you aren't known to the debt collector, if they don't already have job or current bank information, this process could take many months, could take years, and you will long since have forgotten what you did. By the time the debt collectors find you and take your money, the internet marketers are off to a fresh new idea for wishing a suit away, and who's going to listen to you as you try to pick up the fragments of your life? Here's what you need to know. When you get properly served, the court has jurisdiction over you, at least to decide whether it should be handling the case at all. If you don't respond properly, there will be a default judgment, and then you will be subject to collection action at any time. That means garnishment can take your wages, they can seize your assets, your bank accounts. Any of that stuff can happen at any time after you default. Declining service for any reason at all does not do anything. There's no legal basis for you to decline service. Telling the process server that you decline service, or writing in any way, at any angle, that you decline service, does nothing, does doodly squat. You will be defaulted. From that point on, you will be subject to garnishment without warning. You could have anything taken away. So what are your true, legitimate options when served with a lawsuit? You have 3 options if you're pro se and don't want to give up. Only 3. First, you can attack the service of process through a motion to quash, which basically says the process server didn't get you in the right way for some reason, like sewer service. This attacks the court's jurisdiction over your person. It is true, parenthetically, that you could ignore the suit and attack the court's jurisdiction in a later suit, or by attacking the collection process itself. This is risky, however, because it leaves a judgment which could be hurting your credit report, even if you eventually get rid of it. Your second legitimate option would be to file a motion to dismiss. There are lots of bases on which to file a motion to dismiss, and as far as I know, doing so will prevent a default. But check your rules of civil procedure on this. Be careful. This game is for real. You will also need to check your rules of civil procedure or local rules to see whether you must set the motion for a hearing and decision. Sometimes the motions that don't get set are automatically denied, and then sometimes not. If the case is not dismissed, i.e. if your motion is denied, you will have to answer the petition, which is your final option. We've done many videos on answering the petition. To put it briefly, an answer responds to the paragraphs of the petition, sometimes called complaint, and either admits or denies them. It's actually pretty easy. Look at your rules of civil procedure for the specific form your answer is supposed to take, and you probably know that we have products that could help. Okay, that's it. That's all the things that you can do to avoid default and collection. Once you do any of them, of course, you will likely have to continue to defend yourself. It won't magically go away. Note that there are no secrets here, nothing magical, no magic words, nothing even really that complicated. And that isn't, however, to say that it's all easy. Anybody can do it, however. It's easy enough for you to do if you are willing to work at it. This part of the law is not all that complicated. It's pretty basic. Now, what to say in your motions or answers, that's not always obvious, to say the least, but that's where we come in. Our materials tell you how to defend yourself intelligently throughout the process. To get our free report on what to do if you get sued and the 4 fundamental decisions everybody who gets sued for debt must make, go to For Decisions at this following address. Protect what's yours and don't let the debt collectors rip you off. Debt collection is a social justice issue. Take action to protect yourself from the debt collectors and help others do the same. Please like this video, share it with anybody you think could use it, subscribe, and comment, as all of these things help other people find our materials. YourLegalLegUp.com